Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's John
It's also Bryce.
and Bryce.
We say into the void.
As we say, into the nothingness of zero followers. Yeah, that's what happens.
That's
Anyway, hey, you know what? We're getting ready to record Philly cheesesteak stuffed shells for next week's episode. Shit's awesome. Join us for all the fun that's about to ensue, okay? And we're gonna check connection by going live on Instagram as well. Hey, we're live. That's what happens when we use the Wi-Fi. Hi, friends. It's John.
How's it going?
And welcome. You want to turn it? Or do you like it?
Do you like
I
that?
don't know. We can, yeah. Is it better that way?
It's more my house that way.
Hey, there we go. What's up, friends? Okay. We're live on YouTube.
Okay.
We're live on Instagram.
Hey friends. Hey friends.
And we're going to
Hey,
get
friends.
going doing all the fun shit here in just a second. We prepped the pasta and a bunch of other stuff. You have to grab beef?
It's fun.
Thawing.
That's right.
Ooh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Because I could.
Salt and pepper. Ooh, look at that sexy cast iron.
Cleaned and oiled.
That's awesome. Okay, you gonna start?
I'm all for it.
All right, friends, we're gonna start now. Be prepared. You got your opening joke.
Rice with an eye to
And according to
According-
local council seat or whatever,
According to anyone-
local city council seat.
According to anyone local who's trying to get themselves elected.
Oh, sure. Fantastic. Okay. Ready? Welcome to the One Pan Podcast. I'm John.
And according to some local person who's trying to get elected, I'm Bryce with an eye Tobler.
And tonight, we'll be making
Philly
Philly
cheesesteak
cheesesteak soft shells!
Or something.
Whatever.
This is actually one of the first ones that we
Literally,
found.
20 weeks ago.
We found it.
20 weeks ago, I
And
found
we've
this
been-
recipe and was like, this is going to be super, super fun.
What's the phrase?
And then
kicking it to next week, kicking it down the
Uh-huh,
road,
something like that.
There's some colloquialism.
Sure, some southern bullshit that's a
Right.
thing. That's a version of procrastination. It's a funny
Okay.
slang version of saying I'm procrastinating this because I don't want to.
Could I confess something real shitty that I did when I
Go
was
for it.
like 20 or something?
Yeah.
I was just walking down the street and the street was downhill,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a rock and I was bored, and so I kicked the rock.
Yeah.
And so this rock starts to roll, and then it just happened to like roll and hit at the right points that started to like build up speed and build up some air, and then it went kunk, and embedded itself in a car's front windshield. And I was like,
Oh shit! Oops.
I was like, they can't prove me. I don't live here.
There's no shoe prints on the rock.
Right? I was
Nobody
like,
saw me. This is the
literally-
'90s. There's no cameras.
no, it was 2008.
Oh fuck! Where were you?
I was just around town. I was just kicking rocks on a downhill
Oh,
street that I shouldn't have been kicking rocks
Fuck,
down.
that's pretty funny.
So yeah, if that's ever happened to you, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Sorry.
It wasn't me.
If you woke up with a rock in your windshield, probably wasn't Bryce.
Probably wasn't, or it totally could have been.
Absolutely. So, yes, this is a recipe that for 20 weeks ago, when we started the idea of the whole podcast, and I made a Pinterest board of all the crappy recipes that we were going to make, this was one of the first ones I found. And I was like, this will be super funny. And then other recipes kind of came away that were like, oh, this will be better. I'm feeling this a little bit more. I don't have time. We need to go to the store. What do we got on hand? And Philly cheesesteak stuffed shells got pushed to the wayside. Further and further. And so now we're 20 weeks later making this thing, which rightfully so, both of us are extremely apprehensive about.
We just read the recipe, and the recipe is just weird.
It's fucking weird.
It's a lot of extra stupid
It
steps.
doesn't make any fucking sense, and I don't think this person has ever been to Philadelphia.
Or I don't. Okay, you know how they talk about like, what would you? If you heard the joke, how would you explain that to a caveman?
Oh, sure.
So here's my problem. I was talking to so and so, and I accidentally liked a photo on their Facebook, but I hate them, and they know I hate them.
Uh-huh.
And what's it? Explain that to a caveman. It's like they
I can't. I
They
don't
have
know
no
how to do
concept
that.
of any
Sure.
of this.
No.
How would I ever do that?
A
Sometimes,
guy in a neighboring tribe. I fucked his wife, and
but not really.
no, I didn't. But I hunted with the thing. So Grog now has to smash I don't know how to. I wouldn't even know.
Right. And so sometimes I look at these recipes and I'm just like, it's like an alien is just trying their best, an alien far off, star system, way out of the way. They're like, okay, let's make a recipe and send it. And and you look at it and you're like,
do you understand how food works?
How is that?
Did you watch Rocky blindfolded and someone explained to you what Philadelphia smells like? And this is you designed a recipe based off of this?
Also, I love how Philadelphia is not the worst city in the world, but like anytime anything bad happens, people go, it either happened in the state of Florida or the city of Philadelphia. Like,
oh, poor Philadelphia. Didn't Ben Franklin live there? Didn't we like?
He did. That was almost our capital.
That was right. That was the whole thing he tried to petition to move it from New York, whatever it was, right? And that was the concession that Alexander Hamilton made with Jefferson in order to get his debt plan passed. Thank you, Lin-Manuel Miranda, for teaching me history.
Oh, there you go.
We're testing out the shells right now.
So I normally will like test pasta to like see how done it is, but like jumbo shells, you can't really like get a little bit of.
Yeah, you gotta have a whole fucking shell.
Here, let's take a bite.
Yeah, take a munch on it. Is it pretty al dente?
No, it's got
little white bits inside.
Okay, so what is your thing? Do you just throw the noodle back in?
Yeah.
Since this has to be stuffed and that one can't be stuffed,
That's fine.
No, it won't work. It won't work.
It's not gonna work.
You only need like 24, and we're gonna eat one of these, and it's gonna suck ass.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're gonna have like Lord in heaven. We're gonna have what? 3 shells each, if that. If it's good, we'll have 3 or 4. If it's bad, we'll have half.
Bad, we'll just hope for cancer.
We'll split for 1. Oh my god. Oh man.
That's okay. We're already like. Okay, so the scientist in me says we've already poisoned the water. There's no point in continuing.
Okay.
But no, there's absolutely point in continuing because there could be something redemptive about it, or there could be something cool about it. But we'll take the bullet for you guys.
Yeah, and this is okay. What gets me about this is it doesn't feel. It's the recipe doesn't scream Philly cheesesteak to me.
It's beefy, cheesy stuffed shells.
Yeah, beefy, cheesy
there's
stuffed
no
shells.
Swiss.
Yeah, there's no Swiss. That's the part that gets me.
There's
cheddar.
cheddar.
No Swiss. There's cheddar, which goes. That isn't a Philly. You're not an official. You don't get to call yourself. I don't know.
Right, and it's not roast beef. It's ground beef. There's not a
huge
difference.
That's it. It's not roast beef. It's ground beef. There's just slight.
It's an important difference.
Yeah, it's an important difference. There's slight little things that go like this doesn't count as a dish. This counts as a copycat, a mock, mock dish or something like that. Whatever it was. We're like a
mock trial.
Yeah. Did you ever do those in school?
No. So high school in Texas, they were like, if it's not sports, it's just some queer shit, and then they didn't want to do it.
That's
like.
Thank you, Texas.
Thank you.
Like,
is it sports and is it rough? And they're like, well, it's banned. I was like, well, they support sports and
I guess
they're the weird, horny kids.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. You can't do anything about them. You can get all weirdly sexual if you let them get into the theater department. Unless they, do a live reenactment of Varsity Blues.
The people next door are having their date night. This doesn't need to go on the recording.
Oh yeah,
but there's a couple in there, like late 50s, maybe 60s, who live next to us, and every like Friday or Saturday night they'll watch some. Sometimes we can tell the movie, but not always we can tell the movie. And I'm just like,
it sounds like a lot of explosions. It sounds like Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah. They're not seeing like thinker movies. Like you can tell they're just two people who are just like, we've had our kids, we've done our shit. I'll put on some popcorn movie.
I want to watch Bond or something like that.
Right. Okay, I heard another. I know how we've already like shit on James Bond. And,
whatever.
And it's not that we don't need to anymore. It's that we get to some more, guys.
Yeah.
Someone described the reason why. Ovens preheated.
Yay.
The reason why James Bond doesn't really work anymore is because James Bond is Agent White Privilege. And then when you really think about it, you're like, oh yeah, that is why the things he does just come across as shitty.
Yeah. He's very super misogynist, extremely, I'm just good looking and people will give me things because
I'm attractive and confident.
I have the appearance of wealth. That's my fucking terrible British accent. I can't do British at all. Speaking of James Bond, I just read something recently that Idris Elba declined. I think he was offered the role, and he was like, nope, no contract, nothing, don't want it. peace out.
I think that's a smart move.
It's a bit of a bummer. Because I feel like that Bond needs that reboot of him. And not maybe necessarily him per se, but it needs a definite reboot. It's something that would be a really good thing. But what do we got? Daniel Craig for another round or two?
I thought he was done.
Is he done?
Yeah.
Is he done after Spectre or whatever the Halloween one, the Day of the Dead one was?
Hey, no, did you see that
No,
movie?
I've never seen it, but I know that Sony Pictures or whatever was tried to copyright Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. They tried to, and then
That's like copyrighting Comic-Con.
yeah, it doesn't. They couldn't do
No,
it.
San Diego
You're
Comic-Con.
gonna culturally appropriate that, Sony Pictures. What the fuck are you guys doing? And then the real fun fact that I learned was that like Mexico City didn't have a Dia de los Muertos celebration that size that they pictured in Spectre. And then when that movie came out, they're like, oh, we should probably do something like that. And then started doing something like that. They like every year after that they've had a big festival.
They're like, oh, that
because
sounds
it draws
cool.
because a bunch of white people came down to Mexico to celebrate, and we're like, hey, where's the Dia de los Muertos festival? Again, Agent White Privilege just coming in, a bunch of douchebags in sandals and shorts being like, I paid a lot of money to stay at the Sandals here. I was expecting to see like all the places and locations that James Bond filmed.
Well, here's the thing. I can tell you haven't seen that movie.
100%.
And here's why. Because the best part of that movie
Uh-huh.
is the 8 minutes in the beginning of that. And that's it. It doesn't take place. It doesn't take place in Mexico.
It doesn't.
It briefly takes place. I mean, sorry. That scene is in Mexico, but it's not
sure.
like the movie isn't.
Oh, got it.
No. It's like he's there to do one thing, and there's like a lot of like really cool shot, and it's sort of like, oh, this is what they sold the movie with. This is the 10 minutes that
The
they
trailer.
brought to a board of directors and said, this is what we're doing.
Got it.
And then they got back and said, fuck that. We're gonna do this cheap ass, stupid, boring bullshit. Fuck you guys.
Damn, I've never said. Okay, great. That's good. I get to watch
'Cause-
10 minutes of Spectre and have a great
If
time.
you stop there, it's not a terrible
It's
movie.
not a terrible movie. It's a good
very
short.
complete.
It's a good short.
It's a good short. But like seriously, like when we were watching it, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is good.
Oh,
Because
hell
like
yeah.
Skyfall was beautiful. It's
Skyfall was good.
still a really stupid movie, but it was really good looking and it was entertaining.
Well, okay. I feel like it was. Again, we talked about this before, but like Casino Royale was the fucking jam. I rewatched it recently and was really like, oh yeah, Casino Royale still holds up as a damn good film. And then Spectre's, or what is it? Quantum of Solace is garbage. I thought Skyfall was a thing. I read something in Fast Company a few years ago about somebody did some kind of correlation with the market about how when the market is doing well, Bond movies do bad, and when the market is doing garbage, Bond movies do incredibly well. It's like this weird inverse, and it targets the way around.
Casino Royale was 2005. The economy was great then.
Mm-hmm.
So Casino Royale did good. Quantum of Solace was right after the what you call it?
The
Recession.
2008 or whatever it was. Thanks, Obama. Did he give us Quantum of Solace?
Did Obama give us Quantum of Solace? I left this on for too long.
Give us Quantum of Solace like it's an STD. I got Quantum of Solace from my friend Barry.
QOC. Okay, hold on. Let's see if this works. Hold on.
No, we're fine. Hey guys, how's it going? How you doing? You having fun? Enjoying life?
Don't escape, you fucking shell. Just trying to sneak out in a little slit I got. Burning. Ah! Okay. Okay, come on. Take the fucking moisture out. I don't understand.
What?
It's taking so long.
That's fine. Well, the shells, they have
They must be.
pockets, so they like retain a bunch of fucking water.
Okay, that's probably fine.
That's fine. We're good. Yeah, that'll do for right now. That'll do for just leave it. We'll just leave it and then pull the top off. Actually, no, leave it like that, so that leave it like half on, half off, so that the shells don't dry out.
That'll get crusty.
And it'll get crusty, but they don't do a thing. So this recipe comes from dinnerthandessert.com.
Oh, you mean like normal meals?
Uh-huh.
This is made by aliens,
Okay,
John.
and here
it has to be.
It is because it says chef approved recipes, which I'm like, this is no.
Made by a bot.
Ramsey would go find like some good food, or whatever that
Right.
name is.
Yeah.
Have you seen that meme? I don't know what type of meme it is, but it's the ones where they do the.
What do you mean?
They distort. So it's not.
Type of meme?
Yeah, it's not a meme.
How do you categorize memes?
No, so you have regular. You have like a classic memes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Let's see. What would be a good classic meme? Numa Numa or something or whatever,
Okay.
or anything like that. You've got all the. You have the current era memes, which are somebody takes a screen grab of something and it's funny. Like the one you were just sharing.
Is this some peasant joke I'm too rich to understand?
It's pretty funny.
Is
And
it?
it's
Do you
just a
give?
picture of a,
Do you give memes voices?
oh yeah.
Because I do, and that
absolutely.
makes it better. to me.
Anyway, no, it's really great. And then you've got the weird Tumblr, internet, 4chan, 8chan memes that don't make it. You need like a degree in memology in order to fucking understand because they're 5 levels deep of shit. And they're the ones that are like have you seen them? So they'll be on Tumblr and they'll be the meme, but the images and pictures are distorted. Like
Sorry, deep fried memes.
yeah, like the
I love that shit.
Like the Google Think or Dream stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
Deep Dream?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
well, they'll take the image, they'll put it through. It basically kaleidoscopes the image, kind of a thing.
Turns into
fries it
a
little
bizarre.
bit. Yeah. It's like some dataist, existentialist kind of. It looks like colored stat, and they're just like, what the fuck is this image? And it's and then they add the glowing, the Super Saiyan effect on the eyes.
Yeah.
One of my most favorite memes that I don't know how to use in any context, nor would it make sense to anybody who hasn't seen it. But it's the picture of Gordon Ramsay, and he's like bent over with his eyes glowing red,
Like-
lamb sauce located. And I don't know what it. I don't care. There's no context.
I don't know
for it.
why he needs
I
it.
don't. But I need it in my life, and every time I have this lamb sauce located. Like it's fucking Data from TNG on roids or something. Oh, it's just good shit. But yes, Sabrina is a trained private chef of almost
Sabrina
10
is
years.
an alien.
She's an alien. Nope. This is a 100% procedurally generated website from that. I'm speaking of aliens. Have you seen that? I think we talked about it last week. That Nathan W. Pyle comic, Strange Planet.
Yeah,
With the two aliens and everything.
Yeah.
I just fucking.
Okay, I like it. I like that it's popular.
The atmosphere has frozen water has thwarted formal learning. Like, it's too funny.
I like it, and I'm gonna be sad when the joke runs its course.
It's already in. Here's the sad part. It's kind of already running its course.
And that's
His
fine.
first like 50 were really funny.
Right.
Really, really funny. And now I feel like he's trying. Like I feel like one out of every 5 now is starting to be like, okay, this is original, hilarious. Now he's getting to the point where he's just. You can clearly tell. You can clearly tell he's got a thesaurus, and he's like, well, it's a different word
Right.
for.
Here's a sentence. Let's find,
Yeah, how can I say this in the most, like, you need to make a 500-word essay or whatever, and you're running out on your last paragraph, so it's that meme of the picture, like, young, ripe, cut, delicious green beans. It's the description of green, instead of just saying green beans, it's young, ripe, cut, delicious. So it's when you're running, it's like when you run out of words in your own, on the essay you're supposed to be turning in at Psych 101.
I took that class twice accidentally in college.
Did you ace it the second time around?
I did great the second time around.
Nice.
But I had this professor who was just shitty. Just
Shitty in the Dead Poet Society style way, shitty in the...
hold on. I think you were. What do you mean? Shitty in the Dead Poets Society.
Shitty in the pretending that he's Robin Williams in Dead Poet Society, by being like,
John,
we don't need formal learning. Throw your books away.
no, absolutely. Like I was worried I was gonna have a little bit of trouble describing it.
Nope.
And you're like, did he like try really hard to like do weird stuff and throw a wrench into the normal college lecture?
He shows up one day dressed as Shakespeare or whatever it was. Great.
Okay, let me describe this professor.
Fuck.
And I would also like to point out that while I didn't finish college in 4 years, I outlived him at college.
Nice.
Like, he didn't die.
He retired
He-
in the time that you were at college. Got it.
Yeah. He got. I'm gonna assume he got so disillusioned with the fact that no, we don't care about your weird shit. Like, just Just teach us and test us.
You're not Bukowski. You're not original or unique or beautiful or special or any of the nonsense that you're trying to constantly purport on us as that. He's the guy from, you remember that professor in Community?
Yes!
Seize the day! He's that guy.
But he completely lacked any of the sort of like... So that professor was endearing in that he was just like, I'm doing it wrong, but I don't care!
Oh, sure.
And so he kept going. No, this guy was just like, we're gonna do this! And we'd all just sort of be like, could you just shut the fuck up?
Oh.
And you could just watch his soul crush, and I was sitting there where I was like, crush to a diamond. Breakdown.
Like you're the dissenter trying to like, pit the classmates against him. Like, yes,
Absolutely.
No, I hate this.
Absolutely. No, so you know when people like start to describe like, here's my story, and about 4 minutes into that story, you're just like, oh, you're fucked up. But you think telling the story with confidence will give us a misdirect, and we'll be like, what a normal life story you have. So this.
Oh, sure.
So this guy, from what I could tell, he kind of went through like the normal, undergrad to masters to PhD, and so he was pretty much done with school by the time he was like 32, 33. And then his wife his wife probably is a Egyptologist in her late 40s.
Oh.
And he was not a good-looking guy,
Mhm.
and there's a reason why she was not married in her late 40s. And so, like, he's telling the story, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, dude, you should really stop telling us more about your life.
Don't do this, buddy. It's not a good life.
Your life is a sad one,
Mhm.
and you're just giving me more things to make fun of you for.
If these are paintballs, my gun is full now, and I'm going to shoot you with them.
Weird shit that he did. So in Psych 101, they're going to go over like everything, right? So we cover everything lightly. And so we're talking about child psychology and like children see the world differently than adults. No fucking way. I was a kid. Kids are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? Of course they see things differently. They don't know jack shit.
Obvi.
Right? And so he was like, okay, I want everyone to come down to the front of class and then get down on all fours and crawl back to your seat so you can see the world the way that children see it.
Oh,
and
fine.
I got down and he gave us what they're going to do, and I went, and I just went back to my
Grumbles
seat.
and grumbles.
I was like, this is an evening class. We meet twice a week from 6 to 8 p.m. I am not crawling on the floor. Anyways.
This is not written.
Anyway.
I don't need this for my master's.
It's
I could drop this at any time.
right.
Just chill, dude.
And so, anyway, let me put it, he taught that class so poorly
Sad.
that I signed up for the class 3 years later, took it, and I was like, this was really good. This was really, I really learned a lot in this Psych 101 class. And then I started looking through my transcript, and I was like, the fuck? I already took this class. And I looked back, I was like, oh, not only did he suck, but he sucked so much I could take the exact same class and not realize it. Okay? Anyway, so towards the end of college, I was part of the research team with the dean of the School of Psychology. So I was privy to every interesting thing that happened.
Nice.
And so when he tendered his resignation, I got to see like his. How do I say this? I became aware as quickly as possible of like his official like, oh guys, I've decided to take a position somewhere.
Oh,
what I heard
sure.
was my idealistic needs to be Robin Williams in the Dead Poets Society isn't being fulfilled here. So I've decided to take a job at some dumbass fuckhead college where they don't have rules or anything at all, so that I can
They're
do
very
this.
progressive. Got it.
No, they're a very shitty school, so they'll take what they can get.
Of course.
He has a PhD. Most of the college.
So they're all hyper excited, like, where do you get this PhD?
He's
This
a
man
real teacher
he's got
guy.
a high learning. Yeah, that's just great.
I'm just saying, if your life story is sad, you don't have to share it.
No, I mean, and there's probably times to share it. There's probably lots of times
Yeah,
to share it.
it's with your
But
therapist.
Not in front of a classroom of like mostly burnt out freshmen
Exactly.
already.
Right.
In a class that they're like, dude, this is like the lowest and the low of requirements for
It
me
was
right
an
now.
evening class.
I'm
Like,
barely in like you're dealing with generals here. Like I'm taking Psych 101 along Algebra 2, remedial algebra, because I didn't do it really well in high school. Like chilled, man. I haven't figured out my degree yet. I don't know where my field is. I just got here. Ooh, oofta. All right. So we've got the beef. We're browning it. It's doing pretty good. We need to add the ketchup,
I'll put all that in now.
ketchup, Worcestershire sauce.
Okay, we need to get back to ketchup. and
Yeah, we're
catsup
gonna
and see what the fuck that is.
in a second because I don't even know what the fuck. Jesus Christ! Look at the size of that thing.
Would you like
It's basically a small.
some ketchup? Here, if you want to see.
It's about the size of my son's chest. My
Yeah.
4 months old. It probably weighs as much as he does.
I was gonna say this is probably as much as my dog.
Jesus Christ,
So
Costco.
2 tablespoons, right?
Um.
So.
Yeah. Let's take a
Also,
look.
hold on. We're using ketchup as flavoring. Is that weird?
It always is weird.
Okay.
That's a cop out. Ketchup because there's a bunch of sugar and a bunch of other spices and things in it.
Sugar,
Ketchup-
vinegar, and vague tomato taste.
100%. Ketchup is a season. Ketchup is a seasoning, or ketchup is a thing. Yes, 2
Oh,
tablespoons.
oh, I got the ketchup pre-cum. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't shake it. The weird ketchup juice.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna cut this because this is disgusting. But I saw a tweet that was like, pre-cum means he's wet. And it was all.
I guess. So just priming the pump. That's all it is.
Right in the pump. That's funny.
Smells like McDonald's.
Oh yes, it does. Okay,
Okay,
so
Worcestershire sauce.
catsup.
Catsup. When did you first? Because I heard it called ketchup, and then I either heard or saw catsup, and I went,
Ew, what?
what?
Who doesn't know
What
how to
is
spell?
what?
Who doesn't know how to spell? Fourth grade.
Okay.
Fourth grade at Arthur Road Elementary School in Ohio, where I grew up. My friend Justin would say catsup.
Okay.
He said catsup.
So
Now he was African American, so I didn't know if it was like a thing that like, oh, black people say catsup, white people say ketchup, but I don't know because I would hear other people say catsup.
So I never really heard anyone say, or I never realized hearing anyone say catsup, CATSUP, as in like that's their vernacular. That's how they say it. That's how they want,
Sure.
That's how they want to convey the information.
Uh-huh.
I saw it written on ketchup packets.
Oh, sure.
It said catsup, and I was like, what the fuck's catsup?
Uh,
And so that's when I first became aware that there's something going on here. But now you don't see it anymore.
Whatever Mandela
What?
effect. Did the
Oh.
universes reconcile themselves?
Oh, I like that theory.
I feel like
I
that's
like
it.
that.
I feel like stuff like that. Like that's when the Tesseract disappeared for a little while.
Okay.
And everything kind of got wonky with time. I don't catsup and ketchup. My thought is that it's probably a southern thing. It's got to be like a South, like a Louisiana, Alabama,
Sure.
Texas, Tennessee, those kind of guys where they say, "Oh, it's catsup," but I no fucking idea where it was because for the longest time, my friends would always defend it as it tasted differently.
So I thought for a second my theory on it was that catsup was the nasty fake shit that we eat. Ketchup was actual blended tomato. It was like the real stuff, the good stuff, but not fake garbage bullshit stuff. How much beef broth? Cup. Oh, hold on. Hold on. We're making the stuff. We fucked it already.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No.
We didn't?
Yeah,
Okay.
we just make that. We're good.
Oh, that's it? Worcestershire sauce and onion?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so okay.
Ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, salt, and black pepper into the pan and stir. And then once we're done, once the ground beef is finished with that, we'll scoop it in the shells. Put the cheese on. Then we make the cheesy sauce. Then we drizzle that over the filled shells. Then we throw that in the oven, and then that cooks for a little while.
Then we will let these guys get real crispy.
Okay, so I did a super quick Google search. This place called thekitchen.com says ketchup originated around the year 1711 to describe a fish sauce called kecap from either China or Malaysia. I'm not saying it right. I'm saying it phonetically.
Okay.
Scholars can't seem to agree on which, so it's open for debate. Sometimes it's written as ketchup,
Like
C-A-
ketchup-ball.
Yeah, like ketchup-ball.
As I thought the recording.
It's fine. Tomato-based sauces are now called ketchup, arrived in the early 1800s in recipes. It was also a mushroom ketchup at the time. Mushroom ketchup is sold in Britain today, and banana ketchup is sold in the Philippines. That sounds horrifying. Banana ketchup?
Is it like
I wonder if it's like, if it's a dessert sauce, that sounds fine. But
Sure.
like vinegar plus banana sounds utterly disgusting. Let's see. Heinz Company started selling bottled tomato ketchup in 1876. Now, catsup first showed up in Poems Composed at Market Hill by Jonathan Swift in 1730. So, what's 30 minus 11? 29
yeah.
years later? He wrote about in
Or
Botargo.
19.
Years later. Botargo, catsup, and caviar. Man, I suck at math, don't I? So, I wonder if it's just a weird. I wonder if it's just a fucking spelling shit.
Aluminium.
Yeah.
It's one person in one place, spelled it one way.
Yep.
One person in another place at about the same time.
And then so because
spelled
it started
one way.
as it began to spread, it's just people started saying it differently. This thing. Okay.
So then the real
That's
question
very
is,
disappointing.
how did it end up in marketing in 1994? That's really my question.
Well, which makes me. Well, it's probably just the reminiscent of like you because you say things and because you've always said things. When you got hired as the marketing dude, you just did the thing. You just fucking, you did the thing. I remember. Okay, here's the real Mandela effect. I remember seeing Heinz ketchup.
Ketchup?
No, K-A-T, the regular ketchup. I remember I have seen, in my lifetime, I have seen Heinz ketchup and Heinz ketchup bottles. So
it sounds like it was like a regional thing.
I kind of think so.
They printed two different bottles.
They did the market research, and they figured who gets what. Because grocery stores, I've read this before, that even in grocery stores, stuff will be priced differently based on the area. Just like gas is different prices based on different area. Because of like, oh, these guys are wealthy and influential. We'll make it more expensive. Oh, you're really far down the way. We'll make it more expensive. And shit like that. Oh, you're hyper poor. We'll fucking make it cheap.
Could I tell you real quick?
What?
One of my favorite stories with one of my least favorite bosses. So I really love getting to be around rich people who are unaware of like how much stuff costs or how things work or how shit goes together, right? So I had this boss.
That's that joke. Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
What could a banana cost?
That-
$10?
That exactly, 100% that. So this one boss, she was complaining that gas prices near her house were really high, and grocery store prices were really high where she lived. But if all she did was drive, 20 miles down the road, where
Sure.
the poors live.
Yep.
Suddenly everything was less expensive.
Uh-huh.
What's the deal with that? And I just want to be like, you live in a wealthy area. Like they know in most cases, most people like you won't drive the 20 miles out of their way to save money somewhere else. They know that you will bend over and take it, and you can bend over and take it.
And more often
so they
than
make
not-
you bend over and take it.
And more often than not, though, especially when it comes to legitimate luxury markets and stuff like that, they don't make you take it. They offer you the opportunity to take it. I knew a guy back in Ohio, and when I was working for him, he did landscaping, and I got like a summer job with him because of my dad. Anyway, he had a brother who had a like hyper wealthy in-law. Okay, so it's me, my employer, the employer's brother, in-law. So that's the relationship here.
Okay.
So this in-law guy, bonkers wealthy. I mean, talking like he was the CEO of Diebold, which is the people that make ATMs.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, he was crazy wealthy, and because of that, we would do work on his. We would do landscaping, yard work, whatever, fucking maintenance on his topiaries. In his,
What the fuck is a topiary?
It's a word I know to describe. I think a topiary is the
Like I'm thinking is putting like tapioca.
No,
That's what my brain first goes to.
No, topiary is a. Okay, anytime you've seen a wealthy person with a mansion in a movie in the '80s, what do they have in their lawn? They have the shaped bushes.
Okay.
That's a topiary.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that a type of plant?
I think it's a type of plant.
it's just a plant that does well to be shaped into
Yeah,
a
so
giraffe.
it's a very specific. Yeah, exactly. It's a very specific plant that's cultivated by rich people to be like, look, I have shaped it into my garden.
Right.
Kind of bullshit like that. Okay. Anyway, this guy, CEO of
Fuckers.
Diebold, anyway at the time was very wealthy, and paid a lot of money to have landscaping done. And one time I got privy to kind of like them negotiating a contract with it because he was trying to teach me a little bit about money, and he was trying to teach me about how to deal with quote rich people. And he was anyway. My employer was talking with his whatever brother, friend, something like that, who had the in-law, and he was like, okay, they made this quote, and it was probably like $20,000 of landscaping maintenance. I mean, it was for a huge property for this building that he owned, yada yada yada, all this shit. I mean, it was a lot of stuff. And the guy, who was my employer, thought, he was like, wow, I'm charging an arm and a leg. But he was thinking from a poor person's aspect, where we're like, oh, that's so much money.
That's a car.
It was more like, I will make my salary with this one job.
Right.
I'll make my yearly salary with this one job. And so he pitched it to the in-law, whatever it was, and he was like, oh, hey, I love this quote. Double it. He was like, what? And my employee was like, what do you mean double it? He's like, he won't look at the quote. And so there's this like prevailing mindset, and I've seen this. I've seen this shit echoed in lots of places where like wealthy people who love to show off their wealth
Sure.
won't look at something unless it's expensive enough,
Right.
unless they perceive it to be as expensive enough. So there's tons of times where it's like, it's not that.
In their world, it's not impressive to get a deal.
Exactly.
It's impressive to spend way too fucking
Yes,
much.
yes. So there's not the. It's not that they won't drive the fucking 20 miles to go get cheaper gas. It's that their gas is more expensive.
Right. They like saying,
Yes.
"Oh, I have to get the
I
premium gas."
bent over I'm doing it on purpose. Look at me, how I get to bend over and take it.
That's so shit.
It's such a weird
Fuck
fucking
capitalism.
Exactly. It's such a weird. And to get to that fucking mindset, who the fuck do you have to be? To get to that mindset, you have to buy. That mindset is buying $500 sunglasses. That mindset is going to Sunglass Hut and buying $500 sunglasses when that shit breaks, just like your fucking $5 sunglasses at Maverick. Okay?
It's just, what's the dumbest ways you've lost sunglasses? My favorite was when I was 17 and my mom went to drive my car. She sat on my sunglasses.
Oh,
and,
Mom!
And here's the thing, she didn't know. So then I go to get in and I open my car and I'm like, oh, my sunnies. What has happened? I was like, what did... My mom sat on them to death.
The worst way I ever lost sunglasses was the wave pool at Six Flags in Ohio. I had gotten a kick-ass pair of sunglasses, which to say I got them was not to say I purchased them. It was to say I found them.
They were
I
on the ground somewhere.
I've never purchased a pair of sunglasses in my entire life. I have only ever had them bestowed upon me by friends who've left them in my car, my home, or a place that I have access to, and or found them. Like, ooh, gas station bathroom.
look.
What are these on the sink right here? These look pretty good. And they're sunglasses, so it's not like I'm like, ew, they're in a gas station bathroom. They're sunglasses. They're on the gas station.
But, like some things you're like, I'm worried this has been up someone's butt. But
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that with
No,
sunglasses.
not worried about that with sunglasses. I'm like, oh, these are Gucci. Okay, great. They might be gooky,
Right, that's fine.
They're probably gooky, but do I care? They're free. So, anyway, I had my first pair of like super cool aviator style sunglasses. I was really excited about them. Oh, listen to that delicious sizzle. Come on down a bit. That's fine. Anyway, let's see. I got this fucking hilarious pair of sunglasses. I don't know where I got them. I forget. I just remember they were like huge aviators. They were way too big for my face.
Sure.
But I felt super fucking cool.
Yes, but they were the right price.
So like an idiot, I wore them in the wave pool. Thinking I'm like, look at me in my board shorts. I discovered board shorts that year, and look, they say Billabong on the side. I spent $40.
They're just tubes with a waistband.
They're very long underwear.
Right. So you just reminded me of one of my... So, okay. There's a big water park in San Antonio called Schlitterbahn. Okay?
Wow.
Schlitterbahn is a fun time.
Nice.
Okay? It's great if you guys are
I want
down.
to go there in Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens has always sounded fun.
It's Isn't it like Bush, not like BUSH, but it's like the beer, Bush
Yeah,
beer?
exactly.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought. So one day
Mm-hmm.
at Schlitterbahn, we were on vacation. Okay.
Yeah.
I was in. So you know they have like the wave pool area. They have like the tall, big old slides. You go bring your tube up, wait in line, do all that shit.
Bring
right?
a tube.
Right.
Fuck, I want to go to a water park this summer. Okay, keep going.
They don't have any good ones.
I
at
know.
all.
I
They're
want to go
terrible.
somewhere. I want to go to like Southern California and fucking go to a water park.
Right. But they had this sort of like. They always have like a kid playground area where there's like the fountain on the floor that like has holes that shoot water up all over the place. And then
Sure.
they have like
splash pads.
right, and they have actual like playground, but like it has like water cannons.
Oh,
and
hell
stuff.
yeah.
And there's the big bucket that fills and fills and fills
You
and
never know
fills
when
and
it's gonna
dumps,
fall.
and it just clobbers a toddler who thought they were strong enough to fight
Fucking
water.
it's like
That-
space smashing to the ground.
that's always
it's
great.
a joy in my life to watch
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Mhm.
Watching those kids just be like, I challenged nature and lost.
I could watch a half hour of AFV videos of
Oh,
that and be satisfied.
Sweet Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
But I remember one time, I was at something similar to that. I was like 4 or 5.
Mhm.
So I was aware enough to know when I was being a shithead.
Got it. So
You
you could practice being better at a shithead.
exactly. So then, so I'm at this like playground water park area, and they have these water cannons, and so of course I am.
You're 4 or 5.
I'm spraying
Guns
people.
are awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm spraying people like right in their face, like as they're coming up out of the water for stuff. I'm just being a little prick, okay? And so I'm spraying, getting people. Oh yeah, and then I do a big sweep
Yeah.
right across someone's mom who was in her regular clothes.
Oh no.
No, she was in her fucking regular clothes at
At
a
a water park. That's her fault.
That was exactly. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna. You wore regular clothes, and you're not my mom.
Yes, if it was your own mom, I'd be like, oh mom, I'm
Like,
so
oh,
sorry.
God.
Oops. But no, absolutely. Like, you're wearing clothes at a regular water park. You're asking for trouble.
And I was just like, oh, I don't have to care about this, and I don't live here.
No,
Bye.
let's take an alcoholic and stroll him through the largest liquor store in America or something and hope he doesn't want to like buy booze
Right.
or something. Like, no, you're asking for trouble here. All right, so we've cooked the ground beef. It's Worcestershire ketchup,
And onions.
salt and peppered and onion.
Oh, yeah, salt and pepper.
It's fine. Salt and pepper, and now we're gonna stuff it. So we're gonna take a few minutes to do that shit.
One more on the ground. You're going to be very interested in it.
Here's how we do this. Here's how we do this. Good.
Well, I gotta-
I actually think we waited the right amount of time. If they're not good shells, I'm chucking them. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, some of them were looking cracked.
Sorry
already.
YouTube, sorry Instagram. We're gonna be over here for just a little bit because,
Go to the bathroom.
yeah, take a
Um,
10-minute break.
I don't know. Here, let me back up so you can see my eyes.
Yeah,
Um,
take a little bit of a break. It's probably gonna be.
Go get a drink. Maybe text those people that you haven't been.
You've been ignoring.
Right. We all have like the people we want to reply to, and then there's like some people who have like asked us a question. And we're like, let's hold off. We'll just hold off for a little bit. And maybe they'll forget, or that's fine. Take this time to either reply to them and say, fine, I'll hang out with you next Saturday because no one else has offered, or or just make up whatever excuse. You can use me as an excuse. I don't know what you.
Just
use
tell them
it
you're
for.
watching your favorite show on Saturday night,
Say
which is us.
my buddy Bryce wants to hang out. I've said I want to hang out with you. I won't hang out with you, but I said I want to. So then you can.
Have a justifiable excuse.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Hold on.
Okay. They should be mixed.
Cool. So here's what we're gonna do. This guy's just gonna go right here. That's more than enough shells.
Do we want to put? Oh, probably still a little warm.
Yeah, that's yeah. We'll do the cheese in a minute.
Hot spoon.
Sorry.
Okay. Cool.
do. We're gonna do
Okay.
the chili. I'm gonna do the cheese.
Hot.
That will be enough. Yeah.
I mean, I don't plan on eating more than that.
That's fine. And then I'll take them. Might just get the whole casserole dish if that would work for you.
I'll box it for you and stuff.
Okay. You could probably just eat the ground beef. I bet you the ground beef is probably pretty good.
So far, the ground beef is just sort of like, that's pretty well seasoned and flavored ground beef.
This
That's
is probably basic ground beef that you can use in a fair amount of recipes. Let's get a little with this. It's in the shells. So I'll see if I can. Okay. Now,
okay. Here's the part that I don't
I'm
get.
just gonna
And
put a little bit of cheese. I'll just do this super fast.
do that like that. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
So here we need to take the ground beef out of that pan.
Let's get.
Just put it on a plate or a bowl or something.
Let's get. So here's the thing. And we can put this in the recording as well. In the beginning of the recipe, it says to use lean beef.
That's not a good thing.
Here's the thing. It then says use the grease from the beef.
Which
Okay,
you don't get with lean
with
beef.
lean, that's what I mean. This was made by aliens. They don't understand how beef works. I'll get that spoon right back.
Alright, now what the fuck do we do?
I'm
No, it's okay. The recipe doesn't make any fucking sense. We keep going back to it because I'm like, I don't know how to do a fucking thing with it. And the more tequila I drink, the more it's like, what?
The weirder
What?
it gets.
Which also, yeah, tequila's not sittable.
It's kind of a.
Stuff, and I was all, oh shit, I forgot. I was drinking, what was I drinking? I was drinking like vodka and ginger ale, and I was like, okay, this is great, delicious.
Right.
And then I just poured a thing of tequila, and I was like, oh, it's fine. And I forgot, straight liquor is very different than me.
And like, I don't feel like tequila really mixes with anything.
Nope, it never has. That's like you can't mix scotch and soda is about as good as it gets. But really, what are you doing? You're carbonating scotch.
You're thinning scotch, so
You're
it's not
thinning
so
scotch,
scotchy.
So it's not so scotchy. All right, so using the same pan, add the beef broth, the milk, and the cornstarch, and whisk before turning the heat back on, since there's no thing. Okay, so we got to do
How much beef broth?
beef broth, 1 cup, cup of beef broth, a cup of milk, and then a tablespoon of cornstarch. Which I learned this recently with cornstarch. The best way to do cornstarch is you don't just add the powder; you actually make a slurry. So you take like a tiny little glass, and you mix like in a 1-to-1 ratio.
Okay, you ready?
Of water and cornstarch, so you can get a fucking thing with it.
You wanna know how I do that?
Yeah, you do it. Oh,
Blender bottle.
blender bottle. That's a good call. Which also blender bottles are made here in Utah. You know that?
It is, yeah.
I know
I've made a couple applications to them. I don't want to work for them.
that.
Like I
Oh,
hey,
good job.
both of the balls are in here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, optical illusion! It's one ball. Oh
But
no,
it's
wait, it's.
secretly.
I don't know how to separate them.
It's
I'm
fine.
not smart enough.
No, you just gotta do the thing. Here we go. All right, just spin it around.
I'm gonna refrain from making balls jokes.
He read it in Balzac. Remember from Music Man?
Forgive me, but I never read him.
I think it's one of the most racist shit. But look, it's 2 balls!
2 Okay, so we got the 1 cup.
Sushi guy. There's sushi guy.
Here we go, 1 cup of that. We've got.
Cup of milk, cup of beef broth,
That's it.
tablespoon
And then a
of
bunch of
cornstarch.
cheese. Where did the
Uh,
tablespoon go? Tablespoon. I just washed you. What? That's a teaspoon. Where'd the tablespoon go?
It's fine. Just use this spoon.
I don't know where it is.
That's fine. Here. Just use the tablespoon.
Okay.
Probably more than that. Hold on. With the beef broth.
Whoa, I gotta mix it!
What's
Here,
that?
hold on.
Oh, okay.
I can mix it all right there.
Oh, that's what we're gonna do.
And then put in some milk. A cup of milk.
Somebody's watching on YouTube. Fun.
Oh! Hi, YouTube watcher.
I kind of feel like it's a. Oh. I bet nobody's really watching, but I think
It's a bot. Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, YouTube bot. I hope you learn a lot from us. If you become the one that kills us all.
Where's the? Here we go.
You also wanted butter in there, right?
No,
Alright.
not that I remember. Nope. Just
And then just
add the rest of the cheddar cheese at a little at a time while whisking for 3 to 5 minutes until thick.
What do I say? As Outcast would say, shake it, shake it.
Which, when that song Hey Ya came out, Polaroid issued a statement. Kodak issued a statement like, please don't shake your Polaroids. It will
said-
damage them.
We've been doing that forever, assholes.
No.
Where were you?
No, they were like, you lightly air it dry, but not like shake it like a whipping motion.
That's what we all did.
I know. And then Polaroid was like, oh, please don't do that to
yeah.
Kodak was like, please don't do that to your Polaroids, because it'll probably ruin them and it'll destroy your phone.
Oh, you were
Well,
you were
we're
alright
not
with
like
us. You were cool with us ruining them when they were popular, but now that they're not, you have a problem.
I think it's more like African Americans, please stop using our product. Because
you think so?
oh no, 100%. I read this whole article about Eastman Kodak's colors don't like original film and stuff like that. It was toned for white color. It was toned for white skin.
Oh.
So when African Americans were using the photographs, like they were, shit didn't show up because it's not the whole
Right.
process for film, and everything was not taken into account for like, oh, let's see darker shades of skin and take that into account. That's why like lots and lots of old timey photos of African Americans like you can't see shit on their
Right.
faces or anything. Yeah, it's because it's designed that way. Because Eastman Kodak was like, no, only white people will take photos. It's just like the debate we're having now with self-driving cars. That television show Better Off Ted. Do you remember watching that
Yeah.
on Netflix? Where Lem gets stuck in the office because the cameras can't see him because he's black.
Yep.
Self-driving cars are having that issue right now, where they're like, you're more likely to get hit by a self-driving car if you're black because the technology doesn't recognize dark skin. Because we can't get around the fact of like light reflecting off of an object. We can't imagine that there might be another way to do that. I don't know, sonar or if like anything,
Infrared.
fucking anything. No, we just like let's just keep using the same shit.
Let's use only visible. Let's use black and white, where it's easy to see the white and not so easy to see the black.
It's fucking like,
wait a minute.
Holy shit, guys! Come on, this is did Jim Crow design the
Right.
software for this? Because Christ.
Go ahead and pour that.
All right, so we pour the liquid in to mix it with the beef juice. Well, okay, here's the thing. The recipe called for 8 ounces of cheese. Half of that ounce was supposed to be put into the shells, and then the other half is supposed to be put into the sauce. I don't think 4 ounces of cheese is enough for this much liquid.
Well, because it has to thicken.
It's got to thicken, and we learned last week with hot cheese water that it doesn't fucking thicken that well with it when it comes to broth. So I think we should probably put a fair amount of cheese.
I just realized I think we're just making Velveeta.
Which we probably should have just.
Could have just got Velveeta.
Just could have got Velveeta, alien.
Stephanie.
Sabrina.
Sabrina, sorry.
Sabrina the Teenage Chef.
That's what it is. So they're like, what? They're like 10 light years away. So they saw Sabrina the Teenage Witch,
Sure.
like, a good white human name.
Yes.
And so then 20 years later.
Oh, they will be in their relevant zeitgeist. We will use this name that the humans will then appropriate.
They will never know.
They'll glob to.
Nice. Good God.
The world's gonna end, and we deserve it.
Because we buy $500 sunglasses. Assholes. Oh,
They break the same as any other.
they fucking do. Which just goes, how long are you going to have them? When are you going to have, like, I've never had a pair of sunglasses for more than a month. Never. And I've also never bought a pair of sunglasses. So I wonder if that's my, like, karma for that. Like, you don't get to buy them, therefore you don't get to get them. You don't get to keep them.
I will buy sunglasses,
Mhm.
and they will break instantly. Okay?
Your
Or-
friend leaves them in your car, and you have them for 30 years.
And like, there's some that I don't like them. Like, I drop them constantly.
Oh, to
or
try to,
whatever.
like, yeah, I don't care.
just try and push natural selection. How's that tequila doing for you?
The tequila is mixing with some water. It's mixing with ginger ale. It's mixing with the whipped vodka that I was drinking a little bit ago. Woohoo! It's the thing.
It's sure something.
It's burning on the way down. Oh God, that reminds me. A client of mine talked to me today. I didn't know you could do this, but he had steak for lunch the other day or something like that.
Okay, weird.
And he's kind of in the but he lifts heavyweight, so he's like
Oh,
protein
God.
and stuff, right?
I don't know if I told you. I got my uncle Coley. He's a big black guy, and
Nice.
he used to be a Gold's Gym model.
Oh, nice.
So he's in his 60s, and he's built like a brick fucking house. Okay, but like seriously, every hour and a half, he's like, "Okay, I need to go get a cheeseburger."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What? Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Because your calves need their
You
feeding."
fucking gotta
And
maintain
then an
that
hour
caloric
later,
intake.
right? Then you'll be feeding your triceps,
Yeah.
and so it's like, oh, okay.
Body hungry.
Okay. Like
Anyway.
seriously, he eats like a college freshman. He
Yeah,
really
yes,
does.
It's fucking hilarious. So Mike and I was the same kind of
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
He's a big dude. He works out quite a lot and stuff like that. So he was having a steak for lunch, and he was on a lunch break, whatever it was. The meeting that he was into before the lunch break ran a little bit long, so he had a short time eating his lunch. So he was eating a steak kind of quick. He cut a big old chunk and swallowed it. And it got past the point of his esophagus where it wouldn't. So, like, normal people, right, when it's too big, it gets stuck in your throat, and then you choke because it's high up in your throat, so it blocks your passage of air. So you're like, oh, I can't breathe. I gotta get it out. I gotta do the Heimlich. No, it was small enough that it could pass into the majority of his esophagus, but big enough that it would get caught. So it passed down, like, deep into his chest, past the point where it would cause him choking, but it was stuck in his windpipe. Or it's stuck in his esophagus tube. It's a fucking chunk of meat.
It just couldn't get
He
pushed.
just couldn't get pushed.
What was it stuck between?
He just-
Probably his pecs.
He just had it right there, and he was like, it felt like somebody had pushing their like a palm into my chest for a little while. And I thought, oh, it's probably a little bit of heartburn. I'll get over it. But then he's like, I'm laying down and I like can't do things, and this pain is becoming a thing. And he's like, I tried to eat other food, and then it wouldn't go down.
Oh.
It's like, I knew something was wrong. So he had to go to the fucking hospital. They had to go to the hospital. They had to do a damn CAT scan. They had to do an MRI or whatever to figure out what the fuck was on. Or they did an X-ray, sorry. CAT scans for like
See, if only he
idiot
had a
brain
friend in the
nonsense.
circus that would swallow swords, could have
Oh,
solved
he could
that
have
shit.
fucking helped him out. Like, relax your throat.
There
Here
you
we
go. Cleared. Where's a sword swallower when you need
Where
him?
is him when you need him? They're dead with P.T. Barnum. He had this fucking thing. So then they had to take an X-ray, and they're like, and it was like, okay, he showed me the photo of the X-ray. It was the size of like a small baseball. Like, it was a big piece of meat. Then I'm like, wow. Oh,
Like,
okay, homie.
good luck, man.
Jesus.
Glad you made it this far.
You fit that piece in your mouth. You were able to chew it and then mostly swallow it. Oof, oofta. I didn't know they did. I didn't know they had esophagus machines at Vasa Fitness. Jesus. So he has to. They have to scope him.
Sure.
They can't push it down with the scope. So they have to fucking put him under. He has to get like generalized
Sure, he has to get
local surgery.
Yeah, he's get intubated.
He
so
has
that,
to get intubated. He has to get anesthesia so they can put him under so that they can go down into his throat and take this stupid thing out. Because it was far enough that they're like, "Ah, we can't we can't reach it and pull it out. We can't push it down. We gotta like do a thing, dude. So he had to get fucking like local surgery recently to pull out a fucking chunk of steak that was probably the size you would give to a 4-year-old.
Chew your foods, kids.
Chew your food. That reminds me of one time. I think I've only choked, legitimately choked on food once.
Oh boy, do I have a story for you. Keep going.
Oh, fuck. I've legitimately choked on food, I think, one time, because that freaked me the fuck out. It freaked me the fuck out. I was probably, 5 or 6, I think. We were living in Big Bear, California, and we had ordered the Hut.
Oh, okay.
So, delicious, hyper cheesy pizza, and it was, and I know I had already developed my iron tongue capacity at that point, because I remember the pizza was hot that it might have burned me. Hi Instagram, we're live again. Hey YouTube, what's up?
Hey, the bot is still here, unless you're a person. If you're a person, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're not a bot.
Where'd it go?
If you're a bot, don't kill us.
The pizza was still hot that I remember like sort of like getting like burning my tongue, but also being like, oh, this is fucking delicious. And I bit a huge piece of this pizza. And I remember like biting it and being like, "Ooh, it's too hot. I'm gonna swallow it right now." And I swallowed the crust, whatever it was, and it's not the crust. The crust is the edge of the pizza. What's the fucking middle of the pizza? That's the bread part. The dough, I guess. The pizza shelf.
Hold on. You might have done something.
Yeah, I broke something. Okay. It's the pizza sled. The pizza refers to the whole thing.
The pizza sled?
The slice refers to the whole thing. The crust refers to the edge. The toppings refer to the toppings. What do you call the doughy middle gooey center, right?
The bread. The bread.
Good. Okay, right.
Good.
So I swallowed the part of the pizza that we know colloquially is the bread, and that part went down, but a huge globule of cheese, which globule is one of my most favorite words. I love saying it. I so rarely get the chance to say it. A massive globule of cheese went down my throat, and it was still connected to the slice that I was holding.
Oh, it brought his friend with.
Yeah, so I had this massive string.
You had a food flail stuck in your... You had
a
stick
rope
with
of
a
cheese.
rope and a clump at the
I had
end.
a rope of cheese dangling in my stomach that went out my throat, and I'm like half like, and it was so much cheese that my teeth couldn't cut through it. So I'm like choking, turning blue. My family is laughing, like, oh,
Like, not funny, not funny, not funny.
I might die. And I remember like throwing the piece of pizza down and like ripping the cheese with my hands because that's the only way I could get it to do it. And I finally like feel it slither down my throat at the very end. I'm like, huh. Oh, God. And my dad's like, take smaller bites, idiot.
Okay.
I was like, okay. And from that moment ever, I'm like, don't be careful with pizza. There's always there's a little moment in me. This the 6-year-old kid's like, don't take too big of a bite. You may choke a little.
So, choking is weird for me because I'm a swimmer. Okay. And in swimming, you get very used to getting little teeny bits of water way deep down in your throat and your lungs and stuff.
And your alveoli.
Right. And you can't give in to the reflex to cough because that will fuck you up. Because if you cough, you go, and then you'll suck in all the rest of the water.
Oh, sure, and you'll die.
And yeah.
And you die.
And you'll die. So if you're any good at swimming, real quick, you'll learn to get over that reflex. So I'm pretty good at not choking, or at the very least, once I realize, oh, I'm choking, I can just and I can just like launch it out. Okay.
That's odd.
So
it's a weird skill.
It's a weird skill.
But it's a swimmer skill.
Okay. The one time I did choke was with mozzarella sticks.
Oh no.
I'll have you wonder what. So I bite off the end and I go stretch, and I'm like stretch, choke, and I'm like and I go. And it just longer.
Oh no.
Which meant it was going down, and it was just like, we could do this forever, bitch. And so I was like,
I'm gonna die. Oh, that's great. Okay, so here's the
Clearly,
thing.
I survived.
You did, which is good, and you lived to tell that story, which I'm very happy with. Okay, cheese
Sometimes
sauce is
I'm not
pretty
so
good.
happy about it. What?
Cheese sauce is pretty good.
No,
It's not. It's water, and I can't handle this, but it's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna put more cheese in.
Cheese in is fine. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a little more cheese, and we're gonna let that melt. We're gonna put it over the sauce, and we're gonna throw it in the oven for what? 15 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, and then we're gonna come back. All right? We'll see you guys in just a little bit.
But we won't go anywhere for you guys.
I am gonna check my text messages, so if it's a thing, we'll see you in a few.
This cheese sauce is ass. Okay, I don't think this is gonna get any better. At some point, it's gonna be more cheese than anything else.
Which is
So-
fine.
Yep, I'm just gonna pour this bitch in. I'm gonna put my.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, oh. Already made a mess. Oh, fuck. It's gonna smell like ass. Get. Oh!
Oops.
It's okay. We'll clean it, it's fine. Appetizing.
Well, we're not recording, so
I know.
I don't. God, this is stupid.
It just smells like burnt cheese.
It's not gonna be anything. You go.
Oh.
My cord.
Okay, so I had a little bit of the cheese.
Pause due to poor connection. Shut up.
Here's this bag of dicks. Please consume it.
All right, I'm actually gonna leave it. All right, I don't want to go live anymore.
Hmm.
This guy. So I was just gonna hear YouTube. What up? VIP music record started following. Fuck off. Let's actually. Okay. All right, YouTube. What up? We've been live for almost 70 minutes now. Oh. God, tequila's gross sometimes.
Tequila's good for shooting. You know what else I hate about tequila? People who make the 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor. It's like,
Do you want any of these?
no.
Okay. Like, I'm gonna throw them in the box. Throw the box away.
There you go. Back where they came from.
Back to hell. I wonder if real. Okay. So, like pasta like this barilla, because it's made so commercial with, you know, flours that are GMO and things like that. I wonder what real pasta tastes like. Like, I wonder what the first person to do, like the first person to make shells. First Italian dude to make shells. You know, 150 years ago. They're like, look at these, I'm making the shell. You know. But
Giuseppe! Giuseppe making the chef!
I don't know any other Italian names. What kind of thing?
Antonio. You can do a lot of Spanish names and get away with them.
Angelo, come here. I show you. Look at this. I'm making the shell. You see the little guy, I'm making the big one.
They're just like,
Giuseppe, what do you do with it? Look at that. I put the shit in it. It's like a ravioli, but it's half open.
it's ravioli. It doesn't come on your face.
It's like a ravioli, but you see it in the, it's like a preview into the inside. It's like the movie I see.
It's like the movie I
It's like
see.
a movie. You see the movie before you see the movie. It's like a preview. You see a little bit of the thing.
It's a trailer.
It's a trailer. That's what it is. Ravioli is a trailer. The shells are a trailer. But like, you think Giuseppe would have had flour that he bought at the market from somebody who's like, he can go visit their field.
Right.
And he probably, like, those guys have been making grain flour for probably 150 years before that. So their stuff is, you know, heritage, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
And the butter was from cows and things like. I wonder how different real, true, like, I grew the grain.
Mm-hmm.
The cow is from, like, the butter comes from hand churned from a cow. You know, the salt I pulled out of the side of a fucking mountain recently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and how much of, like, how different real pasta when made by hand, made poorly, right? Not made machine perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how, like, oh yeah, I cut it, I rolled it, I did a thing, I put a little too much salt in this time. Like, I wonder how different that stuff tastes. Now, I can't imagine it tastes like wildly different because it's pasta, right?
Right.
It's fucking flour and water and butter and salt. But, I don't know, there's lots of times where I think, like, I wish I had the time to make, I would make the shells. I wish I could make the shells, I wish I could make the pasta. What do you think?
5 more minutes.
I'm set.
Okay.
Hey, YouTube.
Hi.
Hi, friends. Sorry you lost it for a minute. You know what? Here's what's going to happen. We're going to wrap things up. We're going to leave the ending a secret, so you got to tune into the episode when it appears next week, okay?